guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. So today is May the 6th. That is Thursday. So happy Thursday to you guys. Hopefully you're having a great trading week so far. And the next couple of days continue to be good for you. So my name is Becky. My email address there is becky@tradictive.com, so you can get hold of me there. There's also this link here, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. Let me just take you to that. So this will take you to a page where you can sign up for a free Trade with UFOs membership. With that membership, you'll get reminders for the YouTube sessions that we do, recordings of the YouTube sessions that we do, you'll get discounts occasionally, and you'll also have the ability to... Great, because it means we answer it in a public space, other people see the answer, we all learn from each other in that community. So if you do have questions, if you're watching this video today, I would prefer that you ask the questions in this space so that other people can learn from it. But if you really need to email me, you can email me, becky@tradictive.com. Okay, so let's just make sure we cover the disclaimers and then we'll crack on. So there they are, being highlighted there on the screen. Of course, important for you guys to read them, not just for legal purposes, but to understand that these kind of videos are demonstrations of what we do, if you want to embrace it, or something in between. Okay, so let's take a look at our 3D market commentary. So this is what we send out every day. So again, if you have that free Trade with UFOs membership, there we go, then you will have this email come through to you every day. Now, the great thing about this email is that it has information on the statistics and probabilities for 5 of the major markets in the world. We send it out every day. Now, we look at 3 separate elements per market, hence why we call it a 3D approach. So let's take a look at what we look at. So first things first, we want to know probabilities up or down. Should we buy or sell? In other terms, should we go long or short? Or are there not enough probabilities either way, in which case we do nothing. We want to know before we do anything in the markets, before we analyze anything, should I be buying, selling, or doing nothing? So that's the first thing that we ask. Now we use this app down here, which is our Auto Climate app. Ignore the lines for now, just focus on the colours and the thicknesses of those dots. There are 3 different options that we have. First option, thick blue dot, that tells us probability upwards, we should look to buy. Second option, thick red dot, that tells us probability downwards, we should look to sell. Or a thin dot of either colour, doesn't. That's the Auto Climate app telling us, hey, not enough probabilities either way, best to keep away, do nothing. So we use an app here. It's a free app, Auto Climate. You can download it for free. Once you have your free membership, you can follow through the instructions for that. Free app that scans through market data and helps us understand whether or not we should even be looking to buy, sell, or do nothing. So that comes first. We'll look at that per market. Then we want to understand, if we're going to buy, where do we going to sell? Where do we sell? And this is where our buy and sell UFOs come in that help us with our entries and exits. Now, UFO stands for unfilled orders. What that means is that there are big stacks of buy orders in the market waiting to push price upwards, and there are big stacks of sell orders in the market waiting to push price downwards. We want to know where they are. So the Auto UFO app highlights for us on the chart these little UFOs, and also on the right hand side exactly the price difference, so where those stacks of sell orders are, where those stacks of buy orders are. So again, we are using an app to highlight for us on a chart and show us where these orders are, so that we know exactly where we're going to buy and sell, not just in the middle of nowhere. And then final thing we're going to look at is risk and reward. Now we understand that by looking at volatility. Volatility essentially means how quickly something moves. So if we have a lot of volatility, it moves a lot, it can increase the risk, which can also increase the reward potentially. If it doesn't move very much, then that could decrease the risk, so lower risk, but you may also have lower reward. So we'll look at that per market as well. Now we are looking at daily charts of each of these markets. So of course, different things happen on different time frames. If you trade much lower, much higher time frames, obviously things will be different. Daily's kind of in the middle, so hopefully that helps you regardless of what way you trade. Okay, so let's start with the first market, which is the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500 is the top 500 US stocks that's in a basket, and we're looking at the futures contract for it. We're looking at the ES. So if you don't understand what I just said, just understand we're looking at a representation of the US stock market. So first things first, we look at climate, and in this case we have an unconfirmed climate. It's a thin dot here. That means we do nothing. Change time frame, change market. We don't need to trade something where we don't have probabilities one way or the other. It would be a gamble to just make it up and pick one. So again, we let auto climate give us a very easy answer to this. We look at this and we go, no trade, move on. So that's what we do when it's an unconfirmed climate. Now in terms of buy and sell UFOs, we have no sell UFOs above us, but we do have buy UFOs, so buy orders just here, between 40.76 to 40.52.25. And we would expect, if price came down and hit that stack of buy orders, that it would go up from there. That's what we expect buy UFOs to do, to push price up. Now in terms of volatility on the S&P, we would expect movement up or down in one day of 49.18 points. In 1 week, it would be up or down of 108.26 points, and in 1 month, up or down of 225.37 points. So again, that's what we would expect up or down. We would usually use our climate and buy and sell UFOs to help us figure out in which direction that's more likely to happen. In this case, can't really call it. We're far away from buy orders at the moment, unlikely to have an impact in the next few days, and we have an unconfirmed climate. So overall with the S&P, kind of in the dark there at the moment as to where the probabilities lie. Now moving on to the next market, which is oil. In the meantime, it says there about our classes. So you can take classes with us in Forex, futures, stocks, backtesting, trading plans, psychology. Now, the cool thing about these classes is that most of them come with 3-month complimentary access to the apps. Now, Auto Climate on most of the platforms you can use it on is free. AutoUFOs, for example, on TradingView, which is the one I'm using here, is $34 per month. Now, some of the classes are either $34 one-off or $89 one-off, which means that if you pay for a course, even if you don't even want to watch it, you'll get 3-month access to the AutoUFOs for free. So it might be a cheaper way of accessing the AutoUFOs by getting a course by itself anyway. Now if you're going to do that, you might as well get a course that makes more sense to you, that's going to help you out. So take a look, browse the courses, see what might help you out in that way. Okay, so let's have a look at oil. Oil, we have a confirmed upwards climate. Thick blue dot there, probability to the upside. Now usually oil would go up for 7 candles. I know that says 6.48, rounding it up because you can't have a decimal place of a candle. So it goes up for 7 candles and we're on candle number 9. Which means that we have gone past what is usual. Of course we can go past what's usual. Of course we can fall short of what's usual. What's normal comes from kind of an amalgamation of those things. But the further we go past what is a usual move to the upside, the less likely it is to keep going up. So bear that in mind. Yes, we still have probability to the upside, not as many as we would necessarily like. Now, buy and sell UFOs. We have buy orders just below us. In fact, it looks like we're about to touch them here. Numbers for that are 64.68 to 62.91. And again, we would expect price to move up from there. We have sell orders, a little bit higher up, at 69.90 to 68.46. So at the moment, probability there to the upside with oil, both in the climate and in the fact that we're close to buy orders that are likely to push price up. Bear in mind, we have gone over what's normal in terms of a move to the upside, so it might not line up exactly how you want it to line up, but overall there, probability upwards. Now, in terms of volatility, we would expect movement up or down in one day of 1.58 points. In 1 week, it's up or down of 3.48 points. In 1 month, up or down of 7.24 points. Again, overall at the moment, probability there to the upside in terms of that movement. Okay, so scrolling down now to gold, which is the next market. Again, as I said there, you can subscribe directly to the AutoUFOs if you choose. They are $34 per month on TradingView, different prices on different platforms, so check that out depending on which platform that you use. Again, if you get one of the courses, you get 3 months free access to the AutoUFOs anyway, so you can essentially try them out and see how you feel. Okay, so gold, we have a confirmed upwards climate again, thick blue dot, probability upwards. Usually the market goes up for 7 candles. Again, I know it says 6.1, rounding up because you can't have a decimal place of a candle. So normally it goes up for 7 candles and we're on candle number 3. meaning we do actually have probability that it continues to move based on what usually happens. So probability to the upside and probability that it continues up. Now, in terms of buy and sell UFOs, this might get in the way here because we have sell orders just here at 1831.5 to 1810.1 that we would expect to push price down. Now, they've already worked to push price down here. Price came in, hit the stack of sell orders and moved down from there, which is exactly what we expect sell orders to do, is push price down, which is why we want to know exactly where they are and what the prices are so that we have precise entries and exits. So it has already worked to push price down, it could work again to push price down. So yes, we have probability to the upside with the climate, but we may not have room really to take it upwards if we hit that stack of sell orders. So bear that in mind. Now, in terms of volatility, we have up or down in one day 17.71 points, in 1 week up or down of 39 points, and in 1 month up or down of 81.18 points. At the moment, probability there to the upside, but we have sell orders in the way that might change that in the coming day or two. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so just to say here, coaching and support. We do a lot of coaching and support for free. You can access the sessions on YouTube or Facebook, you might watch them, and we go through all of the different markets, we explain our methodology, we apply ourselves to it, so you can access all of that for free. There's also a closed coaching option where you can join our all asset advanced coaching, $21 per month, and for that you get access to more of our time in a closed environment. So it depends again what's going to be better for you, but you can check that out. Okay, next market, which is going to be the US dollar. Now, the US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide every single day. So whether you trade it or not, be aware of it. It will impact all of the other markets that we've looked at today and then some, so be aware of it. Now, with the dollar, we actually have an unconfirmed climate. It's a thin dot, which tells us not enough probabilities either way. Leave it alone. Now, not surprising, considering it's obviously very correlated to other markets. We saw that with the S&P. So the US stock market is not knowing what it's doing, so the US dollar is not knowing what it's doing, or vice versa, whichever one impacted the other one in this case. Now, in terms of buy and sell UFOs, we have sell UFOs just above us here at 91.81 to 91.47. We then have buy UFOs just here at 90.445 to 89.795, and again, already worked. Price came in here, hit a big stack of buy orders, and went up from there. That's what we expect buy UFOs to do, is push price upwards, which is why we want to know exactly where the numbers are so that we can have a precise entry point. So that's the UFOs. In terms of volatility, we expect movement up or down in 1 day of 0.34 points. It's not as volatile as the others. In 1 week, up or down of 0.76 points, and in 1 month, up or down of 1.57 points. So overall there with the dollar, unconfirmed climate, in between UFOs, sell orders above us, buy orders below us, reasonably tight together. We'll have to see how this plays out over the next few days as to which side wins, buyers or the sellers. For the time being, change time frame, change market. No need to trade this if we don't have probabilities either way. Okay. Last but not least is backed Bitcoin. So once again here with backed Bitcoin, we have, just switch it a little bit more again so we can see it all, we have an unconfirmed climate. So confirmed, no, and we have a thin dot here. Again, doesn't matter the colour, the fact that it's thin is telling us not enough probabilities either way, leave it alone. Now, buy and sell UFOs, we have sell orders above us here at 65,000 even to 61,120. And then we have buy orders down here at 39,157.5 to 32,192.5. So what that tells us is that we have a big gap, of 20 plus thousand, where price can move without there being orders in the way to stop it. Of course, there could be new orders that come into the market, and we'll keep an eye out for that. But based on what we see at the moment, we've got a lot of room to move, which could increase the volatility, so be aware of that. Now, in terms of volatility already, we would expect movement that way, up or down in 1 day of 3,116.53. Again, more volatile than this market. Cryptos have that reputation. In a week, up or down of 6,860.72, and in 1 month, up or down of 14,281.73. Now, in terms of which direction that's most likely to happen, at the moment we are closer to sell orders. We have an unconfirmed climate though, and we have buy and sell orders really far away from each other. So again, unconfirmed. We're not really sure what's going on at the moment with back Bitcoin. It would be a waste of our time and money to place a trade on this time frame. You could change time frame or change market, look at something different. So overall, undecided there with Bitcoin. So we've had a bit of an undecided day. So the US dollar, the US stock market and Bitcoin all don't really know what they're doing. Again, they're all correlated to each other, so not surprising. So better to look at markets that do have a confirmation, that do have probabilities one way or the other, or again, like I said, change time frame and play out a smaller move or a bigger move where you have probabilities either way. Now, in terms of volatility, just whilst we're on that subject, you can check out the weekly economic calendar. Here, this is on FX Street, by the way. Here we filter by high impact. So basically, we're looking at scheduled reports that are likely to create an impact in the markets. You can also filter here by the specific countries that you trade in, whether that's the stock markets or the currencies of them. So that, again, you can say, oh, okay, let's say tomorrow the US dollar has news coming out at 8 o'clock that might impact the markets. I'm going to keep away from them until after that time, or something like that. So you interpret it as you will, but you can use the weekly economic calendar to help you sort of predict volatility in a way. Okay, so any questions, you can self-schedule a clarification call, speak to one of our experts. Maybe that's, I want to do UFOs, but it looks like I get them cheaper with a course, so which course should I do? Which one's going to make the best sense for me? Maybe it's, hey, I wanted to do a course, I'm not even sure I want to use these UFOs, I need to understand things first. So I don't know whether I should learn to trade futures or stocks or Forex, or maybe I should start with psychology first. If you want to talk those kind of things through with somebody, you can self-schedule a clarification call, speak to one of our experts and figure it out from there. Any questions on what I've covered, you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky. That's this one here. At the top, get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership, get the recordings for the sessions that we do, reminders for the sessions that we do, this email that we've just gone through, you'll get that every day, and you'll be able to ask questions here in public so that I can answer them in public and everybody learns from each other. If you would prefer, you can email me directly, becky@tradictive.com. So that's me done for the day. I'll be back tomorrow morning to round off the week. Hope you guys have a great trading day today, great end to your trading week.